why you need to be checking up on yourself more as an autistic individual throughout your day, weeks, months, or years, because if you don't, you will get burnt out. You will get more tired. You will feel more stressed out than a neurotypical person. You need to treat yourself like an unreliable car rather than a car that will keep running. So you might have had the same experience as me when you've gone to do a task and you've seen other people do the task, and you know that this task or this thing that you're doing doesn't get other people overwhelmed, or it's easy for other people to do, and that might affect you because you know that another person can do it easily, another person can do this task quicker, or they can do it more efficiently because they're not getting as overwhelmed as you and I. So this is why we need to be maintaining ourselves more and checking up on ourselves more, just like an unreliable car, to make sure we don't crash, we don't have all these problems. So for example, with a car, you leave the car, you don't service the car, what happens? You have all these issues you have to resolve, you have all these problems, and then what you're left is you have a meltdown. You can't deal with it. You just can't. Like, when you have so many things to do, you have so many processes, you have, so much going on in your head, how can you fix all those things at once? So that's why, if you maintain just a little bit at a time, if you make sure you're not letting everything go, it will be better in the long run. And I understand that this might cause things to run a bit slower. I understand this might cause issues with speed, and like people might get impatient or whatever. But what I have done is thrown this out my mind. I always put my mental health first. I always make sure that I'm here, because if you're not here, then you're not here. You're nothing. You don't even exist. If you're having a mental breakdown, if you're overwhelmed all the time, then that's not you. That's not actually you. You don't want to be like that. So the reason why I give the analogy about the broken down car is because, well, it's easier for us to get overwhelmed. It's easier for us to get stressed out. So we need to make sure we're doing regular checkups or services to be able to maintain our mental health and maintain our mental health to the same as what other people might. Because say you got a reliable car, well then technically you can let the service run a bit longer because it doesn't need that maintenance. Where an unreliable car, if you're not constantly servicing it, if you're not doing that regular maintenance, you're gonna come across big issues. You're gonna come across a lot of issues in, sorry, my eyes are watering. It's too cold out here. You're gonna run across big issues later. There's gonna be this, you're gonna have to do this. There's gonna be a massive bill, So that's why I give that analogy, to make it simple. So what are the ways you can check up on yourself? Because you might have a lot of things that you do on a daily basis. You might get really stressed out. But I think my main thing that I do to check up on yourself is ask yourself questions, There's so many broad questions, because this is a broad statement I just made. Depends what it is. Like, if you want to figure out, well, I don't know, for example, I'm trying to find a second job, so I'm getting a bit stressed about that. But like, what do I want to do? So I've written down a bunch of things what I want to do, and then I go, okay, this is the most important thing I want to do today, or this is the most important thing I want to do in the next year or two. So I think writing things down is a really important thing to do, because if you're not writing your questions down, if you're not writing your statements down, if you're not questioning yourself, you're going to get more overwhelmed. Another question you can ask yourself, you can write it down on a piece of paper, is what things in the foreseeable future might happen that I may get stressed out about again. And write them all down so you've got clarity, so you know, so you can see the future. You can see, okay, this is what might happen. And then maybe you might list a bunch of things to resolve this issue. I don't know, it could be, okay, I'm not making enough money. Well, what can you do? You can get another job. And then act on that. Then make it a reality. Make sure you are doing what you have written down. If it's foreseeable and it's easy to do, or if you can do it at that time, because if you can really see, well, what's next, what's going to cause me to get overwhelmed and stressed, then you're going to be able to act on it quicker. You're going to be able to maintain it easier when you get to that point. So in conclusion, make sure you're checking up on yourself. Make sure you're doing regular checks, not just one every 10,000 kilometers. You might need to do one every 5,000 kilometers or 3,000 kilometers, because if you're not doing the regular checks, you're gonna get burnt out, you're gonna get stressed out, you're just gonna feel horrible. And that's what we don't want. We want you to be at your optimal best. We want you to become the best version of yourself, and that's what I'm about. That's what I'm here to help you with, and I hope you're getting value out of these videos. All right, so anyway, like and subscribe to watch more educational content about autism and how I'm fighting general problems about autism on a daily basis. Anyway, thank you.